really feel that you're hearing someone but aren't really listening? Imagine how deeper your relationship could go if you could master the skill of active listening. In today's fast-paced world, we actually focus on responding rather than, truly understanding someone. But what if I told you one shift, that is being fully present, can actually transform the way you connect with others? Today we are going to deep dive into this powerful communication tool which all of us have overlooked, which is active listening. Whether you're trying to improve your relationship with your friends, family, partner, your children, this skill could be a game changer. What is active listening? Active listening goes beyond just hearing words. It's about being fully engaged in what the other person is saying, both verbally and non-verbally. This means making eye contact, using body language to show you're tuned in, and avoiding distractions. Why active listening matters in relationship? When you practice active listening, you make the speaker feel valued and heard, which builds trust and strengthens your bond. It can also reduce misunderstandings because you're focusing on truly understanding rather than just preparing your reply. How to practice active listening? Step number 1 is be present. Put away your phone, close your laptop, and give the person your undivided attention. So I wasn't a listener prior because I used to really react and respond very quickly rather than listening to what the front person have to say, and over time I have really built up this thing of actively listening to people, because that would be the chance for me to help the person if I might so I have actually taken this from my husband, who actually will put things aside, like his phone, his laptop, everything aside, and would actually sit down with me and listen to whatever I have to say, whether it's a problem or whether it's something really exciting that I want to share. He's always there, and I think I've taken that from him, that it's so important that you feel heard and you really feel good about it, right? The experience that I had, I actually went out with a friend, and we were actually speaking to this friend, and the person was constantly on the phone while we were speaking to the person, and it was some important discussion, and we actually met the person after a very long time. All that the person could do was only look at the phone, and suddenly if the phone rang, the person used to just pick the phone and speak, and constantly messaging, and at that time I understood that it's not really worth it that you spend time with such person and such people, and I honestly just distant myself with that person, only because I really don't feel that if the person actually needs me, and if I actually do the same, that person is not going to take it, or the person would really feel bad because the person is not being heard, right? So it would also have happened with you that you really want to share something which is really exciting, or something that is been bothering you, and you go to this one friend or your family member or even your spouse or your partner, and you really want to just speak your heart out, and you just want that person to listen to you, right? You don't want like no suggestion, no opinions, nothing. You just want that one person whom you can just go and put your heart out, and that person just listens to you, and you feel so good about it because you've just vented it out, right? So I think it is extremely important that you hear people, because if you don't do that, then do not expect the person or people around you to even hear you out, because at the end of the day, all of us here really wants to be heard. And with this social media and everything coming up, we people have actually distanced ourselves from each other so much that even when partners are together in a room, they are busy with their phones, chatting with some different people and they really don't want to communicate to each other. And I've seen this, I've been there, and I think all you can do is just do the right thing of of being fully present when your family, your friends, your partner, your children I need you. So that was number 1. Step number 2 is using reflective statement. Do not jump into conclusion, rather summarize what they said so that they know that you understand. Sometimes what happens is when a person is speaking to you, you already have this notion in your head what the person is going to speak, and instead of hearing the person out, you jump into a conclusion and tell them ki this is wrong and this is right. This actually happens a lot at your workspace, right? That you have a concern that you want to raise with your manager or with someone senior in your office, and as soon as you go and you speak to them, they don't even hear you. They just take bits and pieces of whatever you have said and they just conclude by saying, no, this is not important, I think you're overthinking a lot, and there is no solution to it. Instead you get so much stressed because of that you think, and then you blame yourself that something you would have done which was wrong, right? This mostly happens at workspace. It also happens, right, that you have had a tired day at work and you want to come home and you really want to vent it out. You find one person that you want to go and vent it out to, and this person is very, very busy. You do tell them that I want to speak to you, but this person is very busy on their phone or they're doing something, and when you're telling them things, they don't even listen to what you have said. But what they do is they just pick bits and pieces of the conversation and then they just come back to you saying that, this is something I don't think you should have done, I don't think was very, very relevant and all of those stuff. And when you ask them, did you even hear to what I said, and then they are just lost and they say, okay, tell me again, and you're so pissed off, right? Again, this is not a part of active listening, and when you do that and the person feels unheard, it really, really makes one sad. So it is very, very important, and before giving your opinion, just listen to what the person has said, summarize what the person has said so that person understand that you have really heard them, and then give your opinion so that the person will really take it well. Step number 3 is asking clarifying questions. Now what does this mean? If something isn't clear, ask questions to make sure that you're grasping to whatever they are saying. There would be scenarios, right, that your friend would have had like a terrible day at work, nothing would have happened as per plan, and that person comes to you and it's just cribbing all evening. All you can do is just make the person sit, ask them to breathe, and then ask them to vent it out. So when they do it, it is very important for you to understand and to hear them out. And also when they are speaking something, and if you don't understand certain pointers, because they have already messed up their brain, because certain things would have happened and they'll be interlinking it because of frustration, right? So all you can do is ask them questions so that they also feel that they are being heard and they really, really would be happy. So there are some common pitfalls that you can avoid. Don't interrupt or offer advice until asked. Sometimes people just want to be heard. They really do not want your opinion or your advice. So you must understand it, right? So when you would be approaching a person, you would just want to vent it out. You just want that person to hear you. But as soon as a person is like giving you an advice or an opinion, you just get frustrated because you don't want it. You just want that person to hear you out. So that is something you should absolutely avoid. Avoid multitasking. Your mind should be fully present during the conversation. right? Supposing a person comes to you and the person is speaking to you, and you're busy on your phone, or you're busy doing some things, and that person is going to feel unheard, right? And the person is going to go under frustration again, and maybe that frustration can come on you as well, and it would also ruin your day. So it is also very, very important that if a person tells you that they want to speak to you, or vice versa, that you go to a person, and how would it feel that you want someone to hear you and you go to them and they're busy on their phone, they get a call and they just pick the phone and they are constantly messaging, and you don't feel heard. Will you feel good? No, right? So you should also think from another perspective, from also another person's angle, which would really, really help. By practicing active listening, you will definitely find a significant improvement in your relationships. People feel valued when you are completely in tuned with them during the conversation, and this is one of the greatest gifts that you can give someone during the conversation, and this will really help build connection with your people. So here's a challenge for today. Find a person who actually needs to be heard in your family. I am 100% sure that there is going to be a person, it could be a friend or it could be a family member, who really wants to vent it out. Find that person, make the person sit down and hear the person and see how the relationship grows. And let me know in the comment section what you learned and how it helped you, and I can't wait to read them. And with that, let's end this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Love.